All right. So before sharing this, let me give you some idea what we are going to discuss in today's class. And coming to introduction, so myself, Bhuvna, I stay in Chicago, Illinois. So my time zone is CST. So whatever your time zone is, good morning or good evening to everyone. So I worked as a Workday consultant and also as a trainer in core HR and HCM of a few modules. So in today's class, I'll give you some of the details how what we are going to do in entire session and what are the course content we are going to complete. And if you have any doubts regarding the training, or if you have anything, if you want to know anything about the job, like how this workday is going to be in market, so anything like we can discuss all those stuff in today's class, because I'm not going to start our uh, the all the chapters in in the very first session. So let's discuss the course content and what exactly is the workday, and I'm going to show you a few uh, topics and how we are going to practice in upcoming sessions. So you're welcome to ask anything in this demo. So just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen so we can start with our demo session. Yeah, so hope everyone can able to see my screen.
Yes. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Right. So before getting into the course content and everything, so why people are choosing Workday and what type of uh, does the certification required, or do we need any experience before getting into this Workday positions? So does it require any coding or programming? So let me answer all of these questions. So with my experience, I'm a completely non-technical person. So I'm not into the technical stuff like a coding or programming. So I totally hate that stuff. So I started my career with Workday, so which we doesn't contain any type of programming, or we're not going to deal with that type of stuff, even though work does have some other modules like a studio integration. So if you're interested, you can get into the other part as well. But if you want to do something like a management, like a business kind of functionality, so the core HCM is the best thing to start. So uh, we don't need any knowledge of coding, or we don't need any experience to start learning this tool. But when you see the market, yeah, people are considering, like if you have any experience within Workday, so they are going to consider, because this is an complete cloud platform. I think someone joined. Hi, Shweta. Right, okay. As we all know, uh, so many people are asking, do we need any experience in other ERPs to learn this Workday? We have other platforms like SAP
Mona,
or
sorry for the interruption in
yeah.
the mid. One new student is joined. Her name is Shweta.
Hi Shweta, welcome.
Hi,
We
thank
just
you.
started, so don't worry.
I'm sorry, I'm late.
No
I thought
problem.
it was in CST.
Yeah, no problem. I just started, so yeah, we can continue from here.
Okay.
All right. So many people are asking, do we need experience in other platform to understand this Workday? So, if you have experience in other platforms like SAP or Oracle, it's good that you can relate. But if you don't have any experience, also, it's going to be a fresh start. So you can learn all the terminology, all the key functions from beginning. Personally, I suggest we don't need any experience to learn this module. But if you have any experience in HR side, you can totally relate this. terminology, like what we are going to do and what we are going to practice all the modules. So in today's class, let's check with the introduction and what exactly is the ERP, and yeah. So what is a traditional and cloud platform? So what exactly we are going to talk. So don't worry about if I'm saying any new terms like a traditional or a cloud or ERP. So I'm going to explain every single thing. Yeah, I think I'm breaking it. Just give me a second. Yeah. So let's see how many modules are there and what are the tenants and versions. So let's start with ERP. Uh, as I said, we have another platforms like SAP, Oracle. So why these systems, why companies are using these systems within their companies, so to store their data. So let's take any example. You can consider any company. So within a let's talk in a general way. Let's not get into the technical stuff like modules or tenants or versions. So let's take one company. Within a company we have workers, so they are going to do some roles and jobs. So their roles and responsibilities, and there is some hiring is happening and termination is happening, and they do have some compensation, pay, benefits. So all these things are going to process by some systems. So depending upon the company size, I think someone just joined. So depending upon the company size, they are going to pick some ERP system to store their data, to run their the whole process, the HCM process. So I'm going to explain you about the HCM, human capital management. So what we are going to deal with the different type of modules in human capital management. So if you are completely new to this terms like HCM or core HR functions, you'll get it like once we start with our chapter wise modules and everything. S- right. So uh, all these companies have the employees data or some their client data. So we are going to run all the transactions within this ERP system. So it doesn't matter if it is Workday or some SAP or Oracle, but the terminology is same. But why companies are choosing Workday? Why not any other SAP system? So it depends on their business idea or business requirements. So if you can see most of the industries, so most of the industries are picking this Workday as their cloud platform because we have a lot of advantages when compared to the other traditional system. So what is traditional system here, like why I'm mentioning traditional and the cloud. So traditional is nothing but the old systems, like you can consider SAP is a one type of traditional system, and Workday is a completely cloud platform. So I'm going to give you all the terms like what exactly the terminology is presented in the traditional as well as in the cloud system. So coming to this, let me take my notepad. Let's talk. Let's talk more about traditional and cloud. So why companies are shifting from traditional into the cloud? Because of some uh, new features, or if they have any good advantages with the cloud when compared to the traditional. So let's not as of now, let's not compare any systems like SAP and Workday. So let's talk about some basic items like let me consider one. There is a one mobile phone that cost me around like maybe just $500. Also, people are using iPhone more than $1,000. So what is the difference between the first one and the iPhone? There is some features that that are more advanced they are getting more advantages with iPhone, that is like $1,000 phone rather than 500. But you can make calls with both of them. So let's say I'm using only the basic model that cost me 500. I can able to make calls, I can talk with people. That is my only requirement. But if you want to add more features like FaceTime or some other features which are there in the iPhone, I can going to take $1,000 mobile. So both are advantages with the system, but it depends on the person requirement. So similarly, people are considering their ERP system based on the company size, business requirements, how they are going to use in the future. So they are going to consider all these terms when they are picking up the ERP system to run their business, to store their data, to run their transactions. Here we have a lot of things like within the traditional ERP. So let me consider SAP as an example. Now we have a hybrid, but if we consider like a years back, if you know SAP, even I don't have any experience in SAP, but I know a few terms in this SAP ERP system. So if you want to use SAP for your company, you have to buy it, you have to install it, then you can able to use. So it is going to restrict to your organization. So you have to go to your office and you have to work there only. But coming to the cloud, it's completely on demand. On demand. Workday is on demand. So you can work from anywhere across the world. So it doesn't matter like you have to go to the organization, then only you can able to work. So Workday is just like our OTT platforms. So how you're using your Netflix or Amazon and all this Hotstar. So are you buying any software? Are you installing it in your system? No, right? So once you get a subscription, you're going to get the credentials. They are going to provide you one mail ID and the password. So you can able to open it from anywhere, any system. So similarly, once the company is getting the subscription from these Workday partners, they are going to receive credentials for every employee with mail ID and the password and the web link. So if you have the credentials with you, you can able to work from anywhere across the world. So even we can able to use a few things from our mobile device as well, but not everything. Like you can view your reports or manage your time off. If you are a manager, you can able to view your employee details. So all this stuff. So you have a more advantages within Workday. Also, Workday is a single system user experience. So what I know in traditional systems like SAP, so as I said, it's a completely installation, right? So you're going to buy the software and then you're going to install it. Then only you can able to use. So let's talk about few HCM modules. Like in general, like if you're considering one company, what are the modules do you have? There is a hiring part, and that's a kind of staffing, and they are going to pay the employees. So that's a part of compensation. So if you are a part of one company, they are going to provide you the benefits. So benefits is one employee. So if you want to take a leave, if you want to apply for absence or time off, so there is a absence module as well. Absence module, there's a time off. So and so on. I'm going to give you all the list of the modules which is presented in the HCM also. So, if you consider the traditional ERP system for staffing or for staffing is nothing but it's a part of core HR. So, if you want to use for your project, like let's say your project is based on compensation, so they are going to like few years back they are going to install the compensation software within a system, then they are going to use it. Le- and what about after 6 months or after 1 year, they're getting benefits or some time of project, so again, they have to buy the time of module software, they have to install. So this is the process. But coming to the Workday, it's a completely single system user experience. So you'll get only one system, and within one single system, you'll get every module within the same system. No need to deal with some different credentials for different modules. You'll get every single detail within one system only. So that is why we generally call it as a single system user experience. But how things are going to handle? Let's say within our class we have like almost 8 people. So each one is working on different module. Like one person is working on compensation, and one person is working on benefits or absence. What if one person wants to like a compensation people wants to check absence data? So as everything is available in the single system, can we able to see other people data? No, we can't able to see other people data, because security is going to handle all these things. So if you are a part of compensation, the administrator is going to provide you only security access to that particular module, that particular functional area, not to any other things. Let's say you are a part of compensation, you can only able to view the compensation data. Like what is data here? Maybe your employees data, or your own data, or reports, and something stuff like the company's data. Or once we start with the chapters, then you'll understand like what type of data we are going to handle. Then after few months you're getting some payroll project, but you don't have any access to open as you're a part of compensation. But your administrator people are going to give you the payroll access. They're going to deny your compensation. So that's how the security plays a very important role within the Workday system. So it is on demand, but the traditional systems are on premise. But nowadays we are getting something like a hybrid. So people are but few years back it's only the on premise, you have to buy and install it. But now people are using SAP. Like as far as I know, we have on premise also, we have hybrid. So you can use like a cloud, but the Workday has a more advantages when compared to the other systems. So Oracle also something similar to the Workday, but it depends on the features. Like I mentioned, you can consider it as a mobile device or some other systems, anything. So how we are going to get the training within the system? So it's all about the Workday core HR. So we do have a different modules, right? Like compensation, benefits, absence. So people are getting doubts like, are we going to get the training with all the modules or only one single one? So let me give my experience. So I started my career just like you all with Workday Core HR, the functional part. Functional part. And I literally have no idea what is compensation, what is benefits, absence, time of nothing. So even I thought I'm going to get a training with everything before getting into any project. Then I understood we are going to get only training for core HR. Then we can start our project or positions with all the roles and responsibilities. But how we are going to learn all the other modules? So how I started my career with Workday, I started with the basic training with core HR. There I've learned all the main things, all the features, how we are going to use the system, and how many modules we are going to handle. Then I started my projects. Then I slowly shifting my career from one module to the other module, because we are consultants. So what exactly is a Workday? So Workday is a kind of ERP system, right? We are going to support the people. We are going to support the clients. So here the clients are going to use the Workday system, and they don't know the complete terminology. So they are going to hire the consultants. So let's take an example. You people join this some training consulting company, right? Because you want to know more about the things. Maybe people have some different requirements. So within our class we are total of 8 people. Maybe few people have different requirement, few people wants to know something different tools. But everyone reached out to consultancy, because the consultants are going to help us to fulfill our needs. So similarly we are Workday consultant. So that's why if you open any company portal, you'll see a uh, positions like a Workday payroll consultant, Workday benefits, or also analysts. It's not only consultants, but we are going to support our clients. So how we are going to support our clients? So you should know each and everything. So we are going to start our training with from the beginning A to Z. So if you know each and everything, then let's say as a workday consultant, let's take the one module that is core HR. We know A to Z everything, including like all the basic stuff, and you started a project that is that contains a core HR activities. Now what the client are going to ask you as a workday consultant, are they going to ask you to do the whole A to Z process? No. Maybe they have some issues around near H or some I. So they are going to ask you this stuff. So to know to complete this issues with the H and I, you should know the complete process. Then you can easily understand, okay, what is the issue, why they are not getting the requirements, or what they wants to achieve the task. So once we start our activities, once we start our practice, right, we'll understand like what are these tasks, what we are going to do, what we are going to create, or what exactly we are going to do with the tenants. So let's talk about tenants here. Why? So, what is a general word? It's a renting, right? So, I'm living in one apartment. I'm the tenant. So, I'm not the owner. I'm the tenant here. So, as I previously mentioned here, Workday is a on demand. So, we are not going to buy anything. We are not going to sell anything. It's a completely subscription based, just like Netflix, Hotstar. So, are you going to buy the entire Netflix or are you going to buy the entire Amazon? No, right? So, based on your requirements, you're going to take the subscription like a 1 month or 1 year, or it based on individual. But coming to the traditional systems, if you want to buy, if you want to use this as a traditional system, you have to buy the entire software, then you have to uh, work on that. But Workday is a completely subscription based. Just remember this one. That means we are renting the software. So the companies are going to rent their tenants according to their business requirements and how much they are going to do the projects. That's why we generally call it as a workday tenant. So on in upcoming classes also, I generally call it as a not application, but in other words, what I heard, like people are going to call it as an environment. So there are different words for different systems, but coming to the workday, it's a workday tenant. So how many tenants we are going to use in the real time, in the real time? So we have a different type of tenants that we are going to handle in the real time. I'm going to give you a few explanation about this shared tenant. If you have work experience in any some systems, you can relate all this stuff. But if you don't have anything, like you're completely new to this jobs, or you're just trying to join some any company and you're picking up this workday, you slowly will understand everything. Just don't worry about why we are using this what is sandbox or shared tenant. But once you start practicing, you'll understand everything. Implementation and production. So in real time, we are going to deal with this three type of tenants, also shared tenant. So let's talk about the shared tenant first. So shared tenant is for the people who wants to practice. So it's more like a quora. So if you know, so let's say I'm trying to search some question, and you will get answers from different group of people. So maybe people from different countries. Like you'll suppose I posted one question, or I'm trying to search one question. So for that question, I'll get answers from different people, right? Not people within US or not people within India. You can see people are posting from Australia or India. So it's a complete whole world. It's a community. So similarly, we do have a shared tenant. So once you are into some any job or into any company, you can able to create your own shared tenant. So within this tenant, you can able to practice I think people are in this consultant, people are going to provide you the share tenant for our practice also. So you can practice also, you can learn a lot of things. So let's say you started your career with basic core HR, but you want to know about the benefits module. You're maybe you're interested to know about the benefits. You can just open the community. We also have Workday community. So you can open the Workday community there. You can search, but in general, how people are using like the at least the fresher candidates, how they are using this Workday community. Even I used to use this Workday community a lot for my tickets, for my requirements, because as I started, I have no idea what the client are asking. So what is how to do the solution, how to create the report, all this stuff. I have no idea. So, uh, how we are going to use the Workday community is more like if you have some doubt, like you don't know how to create a report, or you don't know how to hire an employee, you can just type the whole question within the Workday community. You'll get a different type of links from different people. So maybe people from IBM or Deloitte, it doesn't matter, but everyone falls under the Workday community. So it's not something restricted to one company, but people who are using the Workday, we can able to see, or we can able to post, or if you have any question, or if you want to search some modules or videos, we do have a learning community over there. I'll show you once we get the tenant in the next classes, probably like in a second or third class. I'm going to show you how Workday community looks like and how the tenant looks like, so you can relate more stuff rather than just explaining what is Workday community and the tenant. Okay, so before just getting into the other tenants, Workday it's just like a Google. So you'll feel like once you get habituated with a tenant, right? So you literally play with the tenant. So it's like a, I feel like it's more like a social media. I tried SAP in like in a few months back, just a part of my subject. It's I don't know. I feel like after using Workday for so many projects, I feel like SAP is a lot more like it's very confusing to remember the codes. Uh, so if you know the Workday just exactly looks like a Google, like how what we can relate with the Google and the Workday. So let's say just want to search some restaurant near me, or maybe some places. So you can just open the Google and you can search all the stuff, right? Restaurants near me, or what is what and why, all the news, everything, every single thing. So in Workday tenant, you'll get a search bar. No need to remember, like, yeah, we are going to remember some stuff like activities and the tasks, but you can open the search bar, you can search anything. You'll get a list of links and you can filter the activities, all this item. The first few chapters, you'll feel like you're doing some kind of data entry job, but not, because the first like I think till third chapter, the only thing is we are going to add the data, we are going to feed the data into the system, then we are going to start the important transactions. So I'm going to give you the depth of the subject, where what is the importance in the real time scenarios, not in only the training sessions, because even I took the training, and when I jumped into my project, the scenario is completely different. I learned a lot of things in my project rather than in the training. So I know where to focus, and what are the modules we have to focus, uh, and also what are the activities we are going to practice a lot. Do we need to remember all this stuff? Everything. We'll start everything from the scratch, and I'm going to give you day-to-day activities as well. So if you have any doubts, we are going to discuss before starting any new activities, so that you can clarify them. It's all about practice, guys. It's not about like we can just open the PDF and we can read the stuff. So if you we are going to do that thing as well, but you'll understand the terminology. But if you open the tenant and if you do the practice right, then you'll remember everything. See, when I started this training, I practiced a few days, then I gave some gap like 2 3 months, then I forgot I totally forgot everything, like what is the process, everything is new. So it's all about practice. If you practice like a more than a day, like in a day, if you are giving few hours to this, you'll easily remember. You can play with this application. So let's talk about the other tenants, like within this real time. So in training, we won't be able to see all this sandbox implementation in the production. But once you get into any project, you are going to handle all these three type of tenants. Development production is nothing but a lie. Okay, so let's take the sandbox. So are we going to deal all these three tenants, or do we have a same credentials? Uh, yeah, maybe you'll get the same credentials but different URL links. So everything is going to provided by your company. So why the sandbox? Why the testing tenant here? So before adding anything into the production, right, you're going to test whether your task is working or not. So I'm not going to get deep into this sandbox implementation production, but I'm going to explain all these three different type of tenants in maybe our fifth or sixth class, so that you can totally relate. Okay, this is what we are doing. This is the task we are talking about, and this is a requirement we are going to complete in sandbox or the implementation and the production. Just for your knowledge, uh, know that we do have a three type of tenants in the real time, and when it comes to the practice, we are going to use the shared tenant in the community. So implementation is nothing but the development tenant. So here we are going to test a few more items, and production is nothing but the live. So you can't just do trial and errors within the production tenant. So before getting perfect with that requirement in the task, you're going to test the complete activities and get the approval from your client. Once you got the approval, then you're going to jump into the production. So I'm not going to just get deep into this type of tenants as of today. Also, I just want to show you the course content. Just give me a second. I'll share you my second PDF as well. All right. So I just divided the complete core HR part into three different sections. So the first one is just the basics. So okay, let me just give you another example, just like a mobile device. So here, how you're going to learn the things. So just say, just like a mobile device, I just provided you one mobile device which you don't know how to use at all. So this thing, you don't know what is that and how to operate and what are the things involved in the mobile case and what is the usage. So I just give you everyone a one mobile device, and I show you some steps how to install few applications within your mobile, or have to do some of the settings and have to receive. Okay, I'm just explaining, this is the inbox, these are the notifications, and we can call one person to another person, we can send text messages, and this is how we are going to install the apps within our system. Like we can install Gmail or Yahoo based on our requirement. So I'm going to give you the whole process, like a step by step process. Let's say I just want to show you how to download an app, uh, let's take a Zoom. So there is a requirement, I want to use the Zoom in my mobile device. So what is the process here? Let's take an Android. So what is the first step? You have to sign in with your a Gmail account. Then you have to open the Play Store. There you have to search. There's a we are getting the search bar there. I'm going to search Zoom, then install. Then there we are going to add some of the details. So this is the process, right? So here I'm going to explain how to install the Zoom within the class. Then coming to the activity, I'll say, can you please install Yahoo within a mobile device? Now you know the process. But here the requirement is different. It's not the Zoom, it's just Yahoo. But you're going to try the same process. You're going to open the Play Store. You're going to search Yahoo, then install, then the same requirement. But here The requirement is different, but the process is same. So this is how you're going to just relate your training activities and the real time projects. So nothing is going to different in training and the real time projects. The tenant looks exactly same like training tenants. So there is nothing difference. Whatever the process you're doing it in our training sessions, you're going to do the same process. But the only thing is you have to understand the client requirements. That's it. So firstly, I'm going to explain this is the features within this mobile device. We have the message, we have the inbox, we have the search bar, and this is how we are going to keep a few of the items in the home screen, or this is the theme of the mobile device. So all the features, right? So within first chapter, I'm going to give you all the what are the terms like business objects, landing pages, and we do have a search or prefix. So do we have any additional pages like we do have a notification, all the features that is presented in the Workday homepage. So once we get the tenant right, then you'll see, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is the search bar, prefix, inbox, or notification. This is how we are going to find the workers, all the activities. Once you understand the features, then we are going to start with our activities from the organizations. So let's say here, I just want to hire one person, hire maybe two persons. So I don't have anything. I just have the Workday system, but I don't have anything. I haven't created anything. I don't have any data. Like it's just zero data. But I want to hire two persons. Where I'm going to hire? Out of nowhere I can just open the task and hire the person, right? So you need an organization here. Before hiring any person, you need an organization. So let's say we have created one organization, and all the activities within the organizations, we have created everything. Now can you able to hire the person? No, we still have a process left. We are going to hire the person. So here the requirement is two persons. That means first they need some chairs within the organizations. Here chairs is nothing but the positions. The position is not, the chair is nothing but the position. So I am going to create two positions. Then can I able to hire? But in general, if you want to hire two persons, the people are going to create two positions. Now they are going to post the two positions in some LinkedIn or any other uh, websites. So how they are going to add these positions? We need job profile. So within a job profile, we are going to explain the characteristics, roles, and responsibilities. What is a level of the job, and is it contract or a regular job, and what is the compensation, how much experience do they require, and what is the education qualifications, everything, the characteristics of the particular two positions. Then you're going to post this job, then you can hire the person. So it's a process, right? Here we have the compensation, and we are going to deal with the security. You can't just simply hide the person within a system and give the complete access. No, you're going to restrict everything, and you're going to provide the whatever the role and position access to that particular person. Then you're going to hide the person. So this is the step by step process. So similarly, we are going to start our practice with organization. So here we'll get to know how many type of organizations we have, and what is this reorganization, supervisory. So basically within the type of company, corporate. So we'll discuss all the stuff with the chapter wise. Create the organizations, then we start with. So within a standardized chapter, we'll deal with how to create the positions, and there are within staffing model. It's not only like a
You're
go ahead and
breaking
create
up,
a.
Bhuvana. Your
Uh,
voice
if it,
is breaking up.
just a second. Am I? Is it fine, or it's still breaking?
Yeah, now it seems to be okay.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you. So as I mentioned, it's not like you're going to open the position, create a position. That's not that much simple. But within a staffing, you'll deal with some other things like there are some other stuff. It's yeah, it is about the creating position, but you'll see a different management levels and hiring restrictions. So we are get to know all these activities within third chapter and have to create the job profiles and what are the things we are going to learn with this. So this is not a process. So in the first few chapters the people are going to just think how they are going to practice. So they are going to keep it as a process. Okay, first we have created this one, then this one. But in real time, don't ever think it is a worked as a process, because as I mentioned, it's a to Z, right? The whole A to Z. But the client is not going to ask you the whole process, the workday, like the complete core HR. Maybe they are getting some issues, the recruiter is facing some issues while creating the position. So maybe they need help. As a consultant, you're going to help them in this section. uh, it's not like you have to create a organizations, then position, then job profile. It's not a process. So if they are getting any issues here in a compensation, you're going to handle the ticket in a compensation only. So that's why just don't think it's a process. But in a beginning sessions, you have to remember everything because you have to practice a lot. We are going to create a hundreds of activities. It's not like a one or two positions or hiring. Also, uh, you should get a doubt like why we are doing the hiring thing. Are we a recruiter? Is this kind of recruiting job? No, we are not a recruiters or we are not a HR managers, but we are going to learn the hiring process. We are going to learn the termination process. So I'll explain why this process. So we are not going to hire anybody in the real time as a workday consultants. We are only handling their maybe their issues, or we are modifying something better, their business process much better rather than the existing one. So within the whole process you'll see everything, not only hiring. You'll see the creating positions, you'll see the compensation, and you'll see some of the other transactions as well. So I'm going to explain everything within maybe fourth or fifth chapter. It's just for some idea, like some why how what is the data we are going to feed within the workday's system and everything. So just don't relate this to job roles, because that's what when I'm in the training, right? So when they are explaining how to hire a person, how to terminate a person, I used to think like I'm not going to be a recruiter. Why I'm doing this hiring stuff? So even I asked them like, are we going to recruit people like a real time recruiters? No, we're not going to do. It's a part of testing. So let me give you one general example. So let's say there is one business process is going on, and we have to test whether the process is working. So what is testing? It's a hiring. So you're going to do a maybe hundreds, thousands of dummy hires to check if the process is working or not. So that's why the hiring is a part of our this module, and you'll see a lot of things. But the real hiring and the real job requisition is a part of recruiting module. So here we saw the HCM, right? So we have the compensation module, all the benefits. We also have a recruiting module. So this hiring is a part of the main hiring is a part of the recruitment module. But in a core HR, we are going to learn all the basic stuff in almost every modules. Not this payroll or absence, but you will see the compensation stuff and the security, all this business process, transactions, and everything. So in the fourth chapter, I'm going to give you the small overview of the business process of staffing transactions. So here we have the jobs and positions, job profile, and it's not only job profile. You'll see a job families, family groups, a different type of terminology. So we are going to see all this here, creating positions or have to close or fill unfilled positions. Then we are going to start with the compensation. So in real if we consider the modules, right, we have a advanced compensation and we also have a core compensation. It's a completely different. So It's not like having just core HR knowledge is enough to start your career within Workday, but people are going to learn a lot of different modules as well, because you can open any job profile in LinkedIn. Just open your LinkedIn account and you can search Workday profile. They are going to ask you different things. If you can see the job profile like a HRIS analyst, right? It's not only core HR, but as a consultant, you are going to deal with any issues from the client. Maybe it's a part of compensation, sometimes it's going to be a part of time off or absence, but slowly you learn with your experience. It's not like we can just sit and complete all the training modules just like in Udemy. No, once you start with the project, then you'll understand some key requirements in tickets. Then you'll get to know, okay, this is the time of task and this is the absence task. But once you have idea how to use the tenant, right? Once you know where to do and how to create the task, and if you have the material with you, you can able to train yourself. No need to take any extra training for other modules. Maybe the training is required for payroll and absence, because those two are very important. Like you can see the US payroll. So if you don't know the terminology, if you don't have any financial experience, you can take the payroll training or the absence training, but you can learn this recruitment and the compensation benefits by yourself after completing this core HR. Let's say you completed this core HR and you started your project in some company. If you have any free time, you can just check compensation benefits, only the basic terminology. So you'll get to know everything. Within compensation, we are going to see everything like how to create grades and how we are going to have just give the grades to all the employees level wise, because you are not going to give the same salary to everyone within company, right? So there are some levels. So CEO and the manager and associates. So based on them, we are going to provide the grades. So how we are going to do that? Not manually but automatically. So we'll see all the plans and rules, eligibility rules within compensation chapter. And the sixth one is security. And this is we are not going to play much with the security, but we are going to see what, how many different type of functional areas we have, and how many different type of groups we are going to handle, how to give access, how to deny access. But in real time, you have to be very careful when it comes to the security. You can't simply remove the access to the person, because 2 years back I hear we have this shared access, right? Community access for the practice. So here we are going to get a profile called Logan McNeil. She's a HR administrator, and we are going to use head profile for our practice, because she is a HR administrator. So HR administrator is nothing but she's can able to open any task or any report or all these activities easily, because she have the security access. She's an admin, so we can able to enter into any module within HR side. But in real time, you'll get your own profile, so that is something different. So, what I heard, people are practicing the security and the terminated Logan McNeil, it seems. So the terminated Logan McNeil, that means the complete share tenant lost the HR access. So it will take time to get the complete HR administrative access. So it's a bit risky, as we all know. It's a security, right? We can't just terminate anyone just like that. But you can open, you can see the details, what are there, and what we can create, or the process in business process. So as far as I know, the business process is a really important chapter in any module. It's not only core HR, but you can see the financial side or compensation. You can take anything, payroll, anything. You will see the business process, and you're going to deal a lot of things rather than just creating the organizations. So, for our knowledge, we are going to start everything from the beginning, right? We are going to create a lot of organizations, and we'll get to know how to hire or how to create a positions. But in real time, you're going to handle more with the business process. So I don't want to just dig deep into the business process or the security before starting our very first chapters. So at least once we saw the tenant and once we start practicing the basic activities like creating locations, creating organizations, then I'll give you a few ideas, some overview of business process eventually. Then after this, every day I'm going to give you this different type of activities with the new requirements so that you can practice from your side. Uh, and at the end of this training, I'm going to give you some case studies that is based on some real-time activities so that you can practice the whole workday system. And let me open up video. Right. So let's talk about versions here. You can take any software like let's take some civil or something like we have a AutoCAD. So I used to listen like I'm using 2014 version or 2000 version or recent 2019 versions, right? But what if anyone is asking what version you're working in a workday? Every single customer will be on the same version. So it see you can just again consider our mobile device how we are getting the automatic updates. So every few months you are going to get this automatic update, right? You have the update available, you can install and download without paying any extra amount. You can just simply connect to the Wi-Fi and you can update your phone within like a few minutes. So similarly, the work they have this automated upgrades. So that is one main advantage when compared to the traditional systems. Every in a year we have two updates. One is in March and other one is in September. So you won't see much difference. See, even if you update your mobile phone, right, you'll see some of the things changes in maybe wallpaper or in notification settings or maybe some security settings. So similarly, you won't see much difference in Workday tenant, but you'll see some of the things are getting changed with every upgrade. So coming to the version, as I said, every single customer will be on the same version. So previously, like 2 3 years back, half the versions naming will be like a Workday 30, Workday 31, 30. I'm not sure if they started 32, but they changed the naming of the version. What is a current version naming? Workday release 1, 2021. Workday release 2, 2022. Sorry. So the first release will be on the March and the second is on September. So similarly, what is our current version? We are on the Workday release 1, 2023, that is going to be on the March and so on. So we're not sure where maybe they're going to change the naming or this is going to continue. So if anyone is asking which version you are using, the same version. Every single customer, it doesn't matter if the person is from different organizations or different country or region. We are on the same version and everybody will get the same access. So that's the best part. We're not going to change anything in the Workday tenants. Let's say you're working in one company like a Deloitte. You worked for around 2 3 years within Workday tenant and you shifted your position to PwC. You'll see the same tenant, you'll see the same inbuilt data. So I'll talk more about this inbuilt data and more about this the PDF because today I just want to give you some overview how the things are going to be work in our session. So we'll talk more about this ERP. Also, I'm going to share you this PPT also. You'll get a more idea what we are talking and all the terminology. In the next class, we'll go through everything, the traditional versus cloud and what is ERP, like how we are going to handle a system. Just go through the stuff and I'm going to discuss everything like a SaaS software and how many applications do we have within Workday. Does only have HCM or we have any other applications? So if you have if you have a financial background in your education, you can also take Workday Financial. We have two applications. One is human capital management, and the other one is finance. So we are a part of HCM here. So that's why we are going to continue our training into the core HR module. So let's talk more about this module and the other stuff. I'm going to share you the chapter one and this ERP system PDF, also the course content. So if you have any doubts, you can just make a note of everything. So before starting our next class, we'll discuss every single thing. Then we'll clarify. Then we'll start a new topics. So I'm just stopping our class here. If you have any doubts, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhavna, for this presentation. I have one question about the
Mhm.
course content.
Yeah.
So I see that you have different module. You are going to talk about different module, but you don't have HRIS. So what if, like, I particularly actually I am looking for this training for learning more about how to go into a reporting side or reduction codes and life events or little basic about HRIS. So is it possible that you can also add that part in the
Okay.
training?
So
Yes.
yeah. So when it comes to the training, right? So here we have a two parts. One is the functional training and the technical training. Also, we also have the techno-functional training. So within a functional part, you'll understand more about the business process, different type of staffing transactions and the compensation, and more about security. After this, you will get the technical training, which covers the reporting and integration. So you'll see the EIBs, core connectors, the totally different side. So I'm not sure what this consultant people are just keeping this training, like is it techno functional or fully functional, or you're going to shift after this functional training to the technical side. So I'm going to talk with them if they're going to provide you the technical as well.
Oh, so technical training is a separate training or that will be covered?
So
Yeah.
like my part is I'm going to cover the first functional part. So if you enroll for the techno functional training, you'll get the continuous classes with maybe some other trainer. That's it. It's a one training only. Yeah.
Okay. And how, like, is it like how many weeks you are going to take to cover this particular?
So
Yeah.
functional part, I'm going to take if it is like a weekend 5 days, we can complete it in the 1 month, like a 25 to 30 days. Then after that, you'll get a 15 to 20 days of technical. It's
Gotcha.
a
And
you can consider it's a 45 days course. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I can get more information from the
Yes,
package bill for,
yeah.
yes, because I
Yeah,
was
you
not
can ask
aware
them
of
like,
the,
yeah,
yes.
if you want to enroll to the techno functional, you can just talk with them. They are going to provide you the continue of technical training also.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a question about HCM, the functional side of it. So
Mm-hmm.
usually the consultants are joined for the configuration of the thing, like. So you said they will open it if you are consultants. It's like the clients will open a tickets if they have something.
Yes.
I really didn't get like the functionality of side. Like how do we?
Okay, you mean the real time work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how the real time work is going to be is like it's not about we are going to build the complete system. It's not our roles and responsibilities. Maybe it depends on the our position. So what I observed in my previous projects. So I worked as a HRIS analyst in one of the project and functional consultant in one of my project. So the people your client is going to raise some of the tickets, like maybe they want you to create the whole thing, the whole organization. So that's your part of your job. So you're going to create the organization, so you're going to submit the client. So these are different type of tickets. Maybe let's say there is one recruiter or there is one compensation person is trying to create a report, but they are not able to create a report. They are getting some issues or errors. So they are going to raise a ticket, I'm trying to create a report, but I'm getting so and so errors. You should be able to know why they are getting errors and have to complete the report. So the process.
So we will talk to the client and explain them how to do it, or we do the work and give it to them.
Again, it depends on them. Like, see, in real time, you'll get this um different tools like Outlook or Teams with the conversations. So you can ask them, like, you can explain the whole process. This is why we are getting the error, and if you want me to create a report, you can create, or they are going to ask you, can you please create a report? So as I discussed, we have a three different type of tenants, right? So you're going to create a report. Let's say, let's talk about the report. You can create a report in the sandbox and you can submit to them. So I have created a report in sandbox. Can you please check and let me know if you have any other configurations to do with this? So they'll get back to you. It's a one-to-one conversation, so no need to worry about that.
So this training, this functional side of training includes reports.
This is a I'm going to cover the functional part, but I'm not sure if they have any the continued trainer, like with which they are going to cover the reporting and integrations. So I'll just talk with them after this class.
So that is different part. I mean, the I think
Yeah,
the
so just like the chapters, that is going to be a extra chapters. That's it.
but for to do this job, we don't need the reports. I mean, if we get
We
only the
also need the
functional.
reporting. See, if let's say you're trying to apply one job, so within a job, you'll see a lot of things. You'll see our integrations, you'll see our core connectors, EIBs. Maybe they are going to ask you the absence module, compensation, but it's not like you're going to learn everything within one single sitting and you can just complete the job profile.
No, no, no. My question is, once we do this functional side training,
Mhm.
um, we can apply for jobs, right?
Yeah, you
Before.
can apply for the jobs. So it depends on the roles and responsibilities. You can apply. I started my career with only core HR, then I slowly learned of other modules.
Okay, so when I mean, my question is, without knowing the
Reporting part.
reporting part, can we do the job, or do they ask us whether we know the in the interviews and or whether we know the
Report.
reports?
Yeah, so yeah, I understand. Like you should have some and integrations as well.
Some knowledge of reports we should
Yeah,
know.
at least the basic idea, like what is what. Yeah.
So that you will cover
So
basics.
yeah, at the end of the chapter, I said I'm going to give you a few case studies, right? So within a case studies, I'm going to give you the complete overview of the reporting, but I'm not getting into the integration side. So I'll check with this consultant people whether they are going to continue the till the integrations and the reporting, or they're going to stop with the functional. So you can just clarify with them. Then we can start our sections.
I think I mean, when I talked, they said it's only functional side. So my thing is,
Yeah,
are
it's
we
a
will we be able to get a job without knowing the reports?
you should get the reporting as well. Reporting also, I suggest some of the integrations also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we will talk to the people.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I just have a quick question. I am new to this workday and all this IT stuff, right? So
Yeah.
how long does it take for us to get used to this, and with all how many hours of practice every day will get us ready for the the mock interviews, the interviews, and you know
Okay, so I suggest, like if you can practice every day with the different requirement, your own requirements. It's not like you have to pick some different real time requirements, but whatever you have in the mind. Let's say you want to create one organizations, you want to do this hiring, you want to do the compensation. If you have a good practice day to day, you can complete it in like a 2 months. Also, you have to study the terminology also. It's not only practice if you want to crack all the interviews. I'll
okay,
provide you the yeah, the complete documents.
thank you.
Yeah. And any other questions?
So you, sorry, this is Sudha again.
Yeah.
When you give the work for us to do in tenant, will you?
Mhm.
It will be like a small things, that it's like a in the end. Do you give a project, or how do we gain the knowledge of real time?
So,
Examples.
yeah, so let me give you one example. I'm going to provide you the documents, right? Like chapter one, chapter two documents. So within every document at the end of each chapter, you will get a different type of activities like activity 1.1, 1.2, and so on. Also, I'm going to give you my own requirements. Like with my work experience, I can provide you few activities, few requirements. So you can practice from your side, and you can search the new requirement. So see, let's say you want to crack some interview and you they are going to ask, it's not like it's more like a viva questions, but they are going to ask you scenarios. So anyway, people are going to keep some experience, so they are going to ask you some of the scenarios like can you explain your tickets, some of the scenarios you worked with your clients, whatever the practice you are doing, maybe that is your client requirements, that's not your own requirement. So anything that's a one type of business case or some requirement, you can explain the same scenario to the interviewer.
Okay. So whatever the practice things that you give, we'll be able
Yes,
to
you can
put them in the
yeah,
resume. I mean, and then we can use it in the interviews.
yeah, you can explain all the client, because without adding the experience, people are not going to consider.
Yeah. How is the job market for this now? I mean,
For
it's like recession now, so we are little concerned.
uh, 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 where currently in US, I can see there are like so many openings are going on with the contract jobs and all the full time also. So see, what I'm observing is people want this 5 to 7 years experience. Also, some of the positions they only need just 2 years, and work is preferred. So it based on the companies and the different positions. So we have to like haunt all these different job profiles.
Profile. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So uh, uh, I'm going to check with the consultant people how they are going to keep the training, because even I suggest to continue the training with the reporting and the integration as well. So how they are going to keep it. But if you want to take only functional and if, you want to continue with your interview process, that's totally fine. You can able to do that. It's not like the integrations are mandatory. But if you want to learn, I'll check with the training people, and when we are going to start, what are the timings of the classes. Also, you'll get this class recording as well, and within this recording I'm going to send you the pp, the first chapter document and this presentation, all the course content, so you'll get some idea. If you have any doubts, you can just make a note of it, we can discuss in the next class.
Okay, yeah, this is supposed to be a demo class where we make
Yes.
our decisions. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's just demo, so that's why I just want to give you more idea about the course content and what we are going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
guys. Okay, guys, then I'm wrapping up the session. So if you have any doubts, you can talk with them. Then they'll decide when we are going to start our real sessions. Yeah, from the next class.
So this one more question. This session, functional side of it will be like 30 hours or how is
25 to 30 hours. Yeah,
25 to 30 hours. Okay.
yeah.
Will it be late, like 8 o'clock, or what will be the timings?
Even I'm not sure with the timings. I'm based in CST, so I think they'll check with everyone and they'll make one fixed time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, and hope, yeah, I'll see you in the next class.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you.